And here we go with what will undoubtedly be a thrilling steel cage match.
For generations, the steel cage match has been considered one of the most ruthless matches of all time.
What a slam!
Impactful. Will jar your spine.
Boom! This might be it!
Oh, my. Beautiful technique. Oh, man, right at the point of the elbow.
He looks a bit off his game here. He's going to have to cut off his opponent's offense quickly.
If things don't change in a hurry, this has all the makings of a short evening for him.
Ooh, what impact.
Uh-oh, look at this! Oh, look at this. He goes for the cover. No trouble kicking out of that one.
Just not enough damage done yet, Cole. According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi, the two met inside a ring surrounded by chicken wire. At first, these types of matches were referred to as fence matches.
Corey, you gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match. I'd like to point out to our viewers that from the 1960s to the mid-1980s, chain link fences were used to enclose the ring for WWE steel cage matches. A superstar could win by pinfall, submission, or by exiting the cage through the cage door or climbing over the top of the cage.
We should also point out, Michael, that the way to win a steel cage match can vary by match depending on what was agreed to before contracts to compete in the match were signed. Talking about history, at WrestleMania 2, WWE unveiled the redesigned steel cage with solid steel blue bars before returning to chain link mesh in the late 1990s. The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match. And sometimes it comes down to a superstar doing whatever they need to do in order to survive.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it has meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects from being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael. The steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest.
This steel cage match is in the books.
These superstars put on quite a show. Here's another look.
He was on point the entire match, as you can see here.
Here is your winner, Steve.
Put it in the books, and there was no question about that one.
When you get a one-on-one match like that, you hate to see one of them come up short. But that's just the harsh reality of it.
Guys, it sounds like we can all agree that was an extremely impressive win.